Yeah, tomorrow.
Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I don't know what the hell I did, but this is gonna fall over tonight. Yay! Wait, let me turn this light off.
I get it.
This light. The lights behind me look goofy. Yes. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I have to get you up here. Hang on one second. Hi, hi, hi. How is everybody today? Happy Tuesday. I know. No, I am not putting the glass away. You know why? Because I support my guys. No matter what. I have my blankie here. I support my guys. And boy, did they fight. They battled. And I personally was just upset that getting over COVID. Oh no. I was upset that we didn't get a chance in overtime to even touch the ball. I don't see how that's like an accurate representation of who should win the game. So I think they should change that rule. And that doesn't mean I'm saying like that the other team didn't deserve to win or anything. I just think that we don't know really because we didn't even get a chance at the end. So I was upset, but I love my guys and they deserve all of my support and love still. So it's okay. Okay. So Jackie, I'm sorry you have COVID. That's terrible. It's not fun. Hi, Jess. Hi, Kay. Hi, Mel. Got your booster today. Yay. Good for you. We got ours like a week and a half ago, I think. 2 weeks ago, maybe. So yes. Hi, MA. Crimson Moon. Hello. Lori, hi. Hi, Jasmine. Aw. Well, big hugs then. Hi, Adrian. How are you, honey? Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love my sweater. I like this sweater because it's a sweater, but it's short sleeves. So when I have my hot flashes and stuff, it's not quite so bad. A lot of people think that rule needs to change. I agree. It just is. It seems weird to me that, especially in a game like that. I don't know. I'm sure they're not all of you watch football or anything, but it was a game where literally it was up and down the whole game, and we battled back, and they got scored, and then we battled back again, and we ended up tied in overtime, and it came down to the coin toss because they won the coin toss. They got the ball first, and if they get a touchdown first, that means they win. We don't even get the ball. I just think that's crappy. Aw, thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it. Sam still can't taste. Ugh, yuck. Yuck. Hi, Nightshade. Michelle says, hey, I was listening to music and had the reminder on. And all of a sudden, I heard someone talking. I'm like, hello. Hi, Lily. COVID surge is brutal. Oh, I'm sorry, Christine. I bet it is. I can't even imagine still being in healthcare right now. Like just kill me. I mean, it is brutal right now, right? All right, I need to shut off this other light over here because it's going into the. We have too many mirrors in my house, and then it reflects all the light, and that's better. Okay. So, hi, Fatima. Hello. I didn't see the game, but I totally agree. Many seem to, with getting that changed. It's one person's opinion. It seems to be a lot of people's opinion, and I think just especially after that kind of a game, it just doesn't seem to be fair that it really comes down to a coin toss and that's it. If you lose the coin toss, you lose the game. That doesn't seem right. Okay. So if you hear my voice is squeaking a little bit still, I kind of lost my voice because I was screaming at the top of my lungs, of course. So I a lot better than I was yesterday. I keep drinking juice to like try to help it out a little and that kind of stuff. So, so hi, it's Tuesday. And I think this is going to be an important Tuesday. Because no matter how you decide, there's going to be a million different ways, and I will not be able to go over every way. Obviously, everyone will connect in a different way. I'm going to go over as many ways as I can to connect, and yours will probably be different than every single one I tell you about, because your energy, you're going to figure out how that connection works for you, and then that's how you need to connect. I'm just going to give you some pointers and tips on how to find out. Did you need to have the defibrillator? Oh my gosh, Danny, I'm telling you what. Literally, I went across the street with Frankie and Joey and Dustin, and Frank and I were screaming at the TV. At one point, I jumped into Frank's arms when we got a touchdown and there was 13 seconds left. And we all thought, yay, we just won the game. Yeah, it was a bit crazy. Yes. We are so short-staffed in the school due to the C word. I'm tired of saying it. Oh, I bet. How is Canada's schools doing, like in classroom learning? Are you guys all like back to school only, or do you have any online stuff? I know it seems weird to me, and I don't have kids in school anymore, and I'm so thankful. I'm like, thank the goddess I don't have kids in school, because I think I would freaking kill somebody. It's been ridiculous. But it seems very weird to me that last year was basically no school at all, and everything was online. And then this year, in the States, most of the schools, at least in New York State, I shouldn't speak for all the states, but in New York State, it seems like they are all only in-class learning. And if your kid has COVID and is out, don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't believe here we are in this day and age, and somehow we can't figure out, like, if the kid is sick home with COVID, to be able to have an online presence so that they don't miss everything. That seems very odd to me, that it's like, nope, one or the other. That's it. It's weird. It's both in class and online. All I know is that in my district, every town is doing something completely different. It's bonkers. Glad my kids are out of school. Yeah, I am too. I'm telling you, I don't know. I mean, we homeschooled anyways. Once the two youngest were like, in 10th grade, we homeschooled, because to me, it was partly, asking teenagers to get up at like 5 a.m. and be on the bus at 7 and be awake and learning by, 7:15 seemed crazy to me. Teenagers aren't wired that way. And then they wanted, their most important classes were usually in the morning, and then they wondered why they weren't passing their classes. Well, duh. Teenagers don't work that way. So, nothing online for my boys anytime. I know, it's just weird. Back to school, and in Manitoba, not even contact tracing anymore. Oh my goodness. I know North Dakota and Minnesota area, they seem to be back in school, and they took away the mask mandate. They did that apparently for us in New York State today or yesterday. I don't know if the rest of you heard this, but one of our courts said the mask mandate was unconstitutional and we could not make people wear masks. Are you kidding me? All right, look, and again, you guys know me. I try not to be political. To me, this is not a political issue. This is a health issue. You are spreading a disease. How is that political? That doesn't seem correct at all. I mean, we don't say it's political because you can't drive down the middle of the street and maybe hit someone. This is, you're harming another human being. You can't just do whatever you want in this country, no matter how loud you scream about it. I don't understand. Bobby was given shit for being gone as long as he was, and the teacher was holding the internship over his head. Really? He had COVID. There's so many good changes that could have been made for schools. I know, but they aren't. And healthcare. You're right. And healthcare. That, we got to see what happens when not everyone has healthcare. And somehow it's right back to, oh, I don't know if you can't afford it. Sucks to be you. If kids get the vid or were close to someone exposed, they put them on independent study for 10 days. And why is there a teacher shortage? Duh. Yeah, I know, right? Most of the children are back to school, but there are still some whose parents wish to continue online learning. And they're allowed to do that, Kay? That's awesome. Yeah, but now they said it stayed in place until it goes through the court. Oh, good. Good. What about the mask? Yeah, they said that. Rights come with responsibilities. Exactly. You don't just get rights and no responsibility that comes with it. I, no joke, will probably always have a mask all the time in crowded places. And Mel too. People, especially people who are immunocompromised, you're always going to have one. And I'll tell you, I probably will always wear a mask in places that I don't know who's there. I don't trust that they're not spreading what I don't want around. Hi, Laura. But look at what the CDC is saying about states are peaking. Yes, and we're possibly seeing the end. So there's a lot of back and forth. Sooner or later, they're going to stop even mentioning it. I know. I always wear a mask out. The first time we go to a family function, we get sick plus 8 more. I know. I'm telling you what. I don't know if you guys know Simon from Mercury's in retrograde, by the way, right now. Just so y'all know. And it's hitting hard for communication. Very, very hard for communication. But yes, he is. Oh my goodness. Hermit's Cave. Thank you, Kay. Oh my goodness. I've known Simon for years. It's ridiculous. At the Hermit's Cave, he, same thing. They gathered for Christmas, and like half his family got it. His poor mother ended up passing away. And I know of a lot of people. I mean, all of a sudden, everybody knows someone for sure. If you didn't know somebody before who got it, you do now, right? Or you have it. So, he handled it on his own, but I was ready to go, Mama Bear. I know you were. MA here. Teachers are getting COVID, which means closed classes here and there. EAs do not always want to fill in. Ugh, I'm immunocompromised. Live in a mask. Ugh, I know it. I got COVID 3 weeks and was negative in about 7 days, but I'm so tired physically and mentally that I can barely get out of bed. Oh God, Charlie. And then what? And you have all your shots. And then the kids are supposed to go right back to school. I don't understand. My doctor basically told me that given the current situation that I will likely have to wear a mask for the rest of my life. That's so sad. Online sucks for kids with special needs. Michelle, and I totally get that. But a lot of the kids with special needs are the kids who are dying because they're immunocompromised too. So it's like a slippery slope, a weird balance beam you're trying to balance. It's just awful. My sister is a teacher in Virginia, and she said one of the parents told the school board if they mandate masks in the school, she will come to the school with guns. What? That makes me so sad. We really are at that point, people. What the fuck is going on with this country? What the hell? All we're doing is asking for our kids to stay safe. Why is that such a big deal? Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Christiana. We still need to take it seriously. Yes, and remain vigilant. Absolutely. Children and babies are getting COVID. My boss said on a Zoom call yesterday, well, if you get sick, as long as you don't die, I don't care. I know, and I know there is COVID, like everybody's sick of sick of COVID, sick of hearing about it, sick of dealing with it. I get it. I get it. I'm there with you. I get it, but that's just awful. My friends around my age 30s from Las Vegas passed away. I know several people now who have died. I know here kids in schools, teachers are leaving the windows open at school. Kids are not allowed to wear coats over the uniforms, but teachers are wearing coats, scarves, and gloves. My goodness. And I don't know. It's such a weird time, you guys. We just have to hang on. If it hangs on a few more weeks, check and see if you have a long COVID clinic at your hospital. Kids today don't stand a chance. They will never know the childhood. Yeah, never. First thing I hear is about COVID. My mother just told me she tested positive as of Sunday. She got it from her anti-mask, anti-vax sister at their brother's memorial. Oh, Christiane, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's awful. This is why we will never get through this. The people that are leading us through this can't put aside their differences. Exactly. I just don't. And to me, that's why it's just not a political thing. I don't understand how health and spreading a disease became a political thing. You know what? In my day, when we were young adults, it was AIDS. AIDS was a big deal. And they were afraid of the spread. And everybody was terrified. And they didn't want to bring it up. And it was weird because both sides didn't want to bring it up for a different reason. On our side, I was taking care of people with AIDS, and we didn't really want to bring up anything because we didn't want thank you, Lily. We did not want people to use AIDS as a way to discriminate against gay people. And on the other side of it, they didn't want to bring it up because it's like they didn't want to know. They wanted people to stay in the closet. They didn't, nope, don't talk about it. We don't want to know. It's only for those gay people. And when that kid got it, what the hell was his name? That from the blood disease, all of a sudden it finally changed so it wasn't so stigmatized. But to me, it reminds me a lot of that. You, at this point in this country, if you have AIDS and you don't say something and you purposely go out and have sex with several people, then that's a crime because you're spreading a disease. Ryan White, thank you. You're spreading a disease. I don't understand how this isn't the same thing. This is a health crisis. People are dying. How is that not the same? I don't understand. I just don't get it. I was supposed to do lunch with my aunt, but couldn't because she found out from my dad my half-sibling hasn't been vaccinated and one of them has had COVID already. This divide was so unexpected. I dumbly thought people would band together. I did too, Emma. Me too. I couldn't. Dana, hello, my love. I totally thought, well, at least then, we'll all band together and do what we have to do to get this shit out of here. And boy, were we wrong. Very much. It's just quoting the price of an antigen test. Ugh. Hi, Dana. We love you, sweetheart. $5.99 for 2 of them. Yeah, it's about 20. Well, not that. I'm trying to think of which one it is. The tests here are about $25, but apparently we can get a couple free ones online. Mel, do you have that? It's like covid.gov or covid.org or something like that. And then let's get started with tarot, because this is an important one. How to connect. Politicians will use anything and anybody to further their... Yes. I can text you the web address for the free test after the live. Yeah, I think it's come down to have your own belief around COVID, but be smart and responsible. If you choose not to wear a mask, great. Then don't go anywhere that you can infect other people. Yes. And only one person can order them. Yes. Okay. All right, so tonight's Tarot Tuesday is about connecting to your querent. And I should have, I didn't realize, of course, until Jess, thank goodness, said something in the Facebook event about what the hell is a querent, right? So I kind of forget that that's a weird, goofy word. But the querent, if you are reading for another person, the person you're reading for is your querent. That's one of the many names. There's a couple different names to call that person. But it is the person coming to you, the tarot reader, with a question about their life. So the querent is the person coming to you for the reading. Okay. That's the first thing. 21 minutes in. I know. Daily, you know me, Pookie. I'm a blah, blah, blah. I could keep going. So that is your querent. So what we're talking about here is somehow when we are asked to do a reading for someone, whether it's a paid reading or not, whether it's, your coworker coming up to you, whether it's your friend coming up to you, I do not recommend not thinking about how to connect. Hush up, Pookie. If it's okay, Mama, go ahead and order yours and have them mailed to you directly. Yeah, absolutely. I ordered one, but from a different website than most people are, and it was annoying as hell to get the one, and there wasn't any option to get any more. So yeah, Dana, if you want to do that for me, that would be awesome. I love you. Querent equals questionnaire. Exactly. So what I don't recommend is that you don't do anything. You have to at least have some idea of how you want to connect to their energy, because you're reading, they're asking you for advice. They're asking the tarot for advice. They're asking your guides and their guides for advice. Depends on how you look at it. You don't want to pull cards without connecting to their question, connecting to their energy, connecting to their guides. Somehow you want to make it clear to the tarot cards that you're not pulling these cards for yourself. There is another person here that we need to pull into this equation, because we want those cards to read for them. Okay? So there's a couple ways we can go about this. There's lots of ways we can go about this. I want to start with reading from one of my teaching books. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm reading from, but I like the way this talks about how tarot works. This is not the end all be all. Before I read this, it's just a couple paragraphs. Before I read this, I want you to understand that this is not, I'm not saying this is definitely exactly what happens. There is a lot of controversy out there about how exactly tarot works. But this to me was one of the most clear ways I've heard somebody describe how the tarot cards tap into your energy and stuff. So I liked this a lot. So this should help us to realize what we're trying to tap into, okay? So this says, tarot is actually used by two people: the reader, the person reading the cards, and the querent. The querent comes asking a question or seeking resolution to a problem, and the reader uses the cards to see into the querent's subconscious. Remember, the subconscious already knows everything. That person's subconscious already knows all the answers they're asking. It's just stingy about sharing the information. Sometimes it's hard to get that information from our guides, from our subconscious, from our nematon, from our subconscious, behind the veil, into our conscious brains. Sometimes it's hard to do that. So the tarot makes it a tool on how to do that. The cards create a link between the subconscious mind of the querent, or their nematon, or their spirit guides, or wherever you believe that information is coming from, and the reader. So the cards create that link. Of course, if the querent is reading for himself, the cards connect the two within his own mind. But how can they do this, you ask? They are just ink on heavy cards, pictures. Very true. The cards themselves don't know what's going on any more than an athame knows if it's being used to invoke east or cut a portal. The thing is, when the cards are shuffled and dealt, their position is being manipulated by the subconscious mind, so that when they are laid out and read, they will reveal the message that is waiting to be told. The message is always there. It's already there. It's just revealing what's already there. The pictures themselves are important as well. They are the keys which unlock those images waiting to be revealed. And it goes on with the patterns. That's why we do spreads and stuff, which we'll get into very soon. So you can do it in spreads and stuff too if you want. To me, it was very important to understand that the cards themselves, our tarot cards, are just the tool. The tarot cards themselves, to me, and again, this is how I believe, they don't hold any power. They're just a tool to help connect my consciousness to your consciousness or to your nematon. In my case, I use your nematon, your spirit guides. Okay? Does that make sense? So first you have to understand what you believe you're connecting to. So if you believe in their spirit guides, if you believe in their subconscious mind, if you believe in their angels, if you believe in their ancestors, if you believe in however it is you believe where that information is going to come from, that's what you need to think about when you're going to try to make that connection. You have to know ahead of time, what are you connecting to? And it's okay if it's different from mine, and it's okay if it's different from Pookie's, and it's okay if it's different from every other person. It's just you want to know how you believe. What are you connecting to on that side? Okay? Good, good, good. All right. So that's the first thing. Know what you're connecting to. No matter what, it can be anything that you believe that you're getting that information from, but you want to know ahead of time, what am I connecting to? What am I trying to get to here? It's like using pictures and gestures to communicate with someone who speaks a different language. Perfect. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. I still find it hard to do readings for others. I feel like my energy flows into my tarot deck when I touch it, and it connects to me. That may not be true, though. I don't know if it happens, but I feel it. I believe that. Absolutely. And so now, Dana, the trick is, so now you know how to connect to your own subconscious or your own guides or your own angels or however you decide that. So if the querent is yourself, you want to connect with your spirit guides. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So the thing we want to work on then, you know how to connect to your own, Dana. So now the question becomes, how do I connect to another person? Another person is coming to me and saying, should I break up with my boyfriend? We're going to use that as an example tonight because that's one I get a lot. So let's go there. If you've decided ethically that that's an okay question for you to answer. So now it's about, how do I connect to their energy and have the cards read their energy instead of mine? Okay. I know. I tell them to ask Mama for reading, not me. Hush up. The information might not only connect with theirs, but it might be a message for you too. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And Pookie, you know, how many times have you pulled cards for somebody else and thought, well, damn, that sounds a lot like what I need. If you're asking the question, yes. So is it okay to say, universe, give me the information I need to know for so-and-so? Yes, absolutely, for sure. And before I go on with some other examples, I asked the question in my group, in my Facebook group. I asked the question, we got some great answers to this question. The question was, how do you connect? Tell me, how do you connect to when somebody else is coming to you for a reading? How do you connect? So I want to read some of those answers because we got great answers. And thank you, those of you who participated with me. Thank you for answering. MA said, my readings for others are maybe kind of collaborative. Always remember to ask them if they are okay hearing a difficult or sad. Yes. You're right. I have to wait for that question to come up here. Hard to take reading, right? And again, Dana, that is something that you will have to decide. If you want to ask them, hey, you know, do you want me to be brutally honest here? Because sometimes it's really hard to say some of those things, right? Jen, made me buy Earthly Souls and Spirits. Yay! Got it today. I'm in love and in trance. Want the path to path work with these cards. Oh, I love them. Earthly Souls and Spirits. Love it. I'll fill a few books doing this. Took time to arrive. Yay! Would it work better to use cards for others than the cards for yourself? It depends, Michelle. For some people, it will work better because some people have a block that, when we talk about shadow work, some people have a block that they're like, oh no, I don't want any view into my own subconscious because I have hidden a lot of shit in there that I don't want to see again. So sometimes the tarot, you're like, I don't understand. I keep trying to pull cards for myself and it doesn't seem to resonate. And so you have to look at, okay, what kind of blocks have you put up that the cards are not connecting to yourself? Pathwork, Mel, is, we'll talk, I'll tell you what, let me write it down. We will talk about it because that is a great topic all in itself. Whoops, I'm knocking shit off my table. It's time to clean off my table again. It's a great topic though, because it's path work and journey work. It's like going into the card to subconsciously help it heal you from something. So yes. My computer is being stupid, so I'm watching through Mel's phone and chatting on my computer. All right. It is, I lost a hair client years ago when I told her she would not get pregnant until she quit drinking. Yeah, ding, 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 right? They don't always want to hear the truth. And that's okay. That comes with not taking responsibility for the reading, right? And I think I've said that a little bit before. Like, you have to not, you're just reading the cards. So there's a thing very often, I'm very disconnected with my readings. And I've told people before, like sometimes, a couple minutes after the reading is done, I don't remember what I said to you because to me, I'm not connected to those cards. I have connected temporarily to your spirit guides, and we'll talk about that. But so when I let go of that, I'm not responsible for what that reading said. That's, I don't know. You don't like the reading? Talk to your spirit guides, honey. And it made knowing that made that easier for me to not worry about whether I was right about a reading or not. By the way, I have to say that was very freeing for me to be able to say, I don't know what to tell you. If it didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Sit on it. It'll resonate with you eventually. It's not up to me because it's talk to your spirit guides. Okay? Mom always gave me the choice of what I could handle. Yes, that's true. I did. And that was very important for me with your readings, Dana, because I never wanted to tell you something that I didn't know if you could handle hearing it, right? Okay. So MA said, my readings for others are maybe kind of collaborative. I engage the person in conversation at first while I shuffle the cards. Then ask them, do you have a specific question? I'll usually just pull one or two cards to start. And sometimes I show them the cards first and ask them, notice, but don't tell me yet, what image on the card you see first. Then I'll read the first card or two for them, but also might ask how that fit with the image they first noticed in the card. I find with a lot of people, it is not until this point that they really will get to the heart of what they want to ask. And that's true, MA. I find that too. Once you connect with a person's energy and you show them that you're connected, suddenly they trust you a little bit more with the question they wanted to ask, right? Once they see that first card or two, and you're like, okay, so there's this situation you're going through. It's not an easy situation, is it? And they're like, oh my gosh, no. And then phew, all this stuff comes flying out, right? I found a lot of people with what they want. Then I might either add to the interpretation of the original card pull or pull more cards on top of that. I personally don't think any of my method in terms of spirit guides. More like tapping into intuition, building some trust between us. I love that. So that is how MA connects to her querent, to her, the person asking the questions. I love that. I hate the lag. I see it up here and then I'm like, shit, it's gone. Now I have to wait for it to come up here. They also frequently tell me way more stuff than I need to hear, right? And be prepared for that, guys. I can't tell you, and of course, when we talked about ethics, we talked about confidentiality, right? I can't tell you how many things I have heard about people that I think, I totally just met you 2 seconds ago. You are, and it doesn't bother me. I'm not saying it bothers me. But it's always funny to me, like, we're like a priest in some ways, right? Like, we hear a whole lot of shit about people's lives. So be prepared for that. You'll hear, like, I cheated on my husband, and then this guy came around, and then, I mean, there's some stuff that you're like, holy shit, do I really need to hear every bit of this stuff? So be prepared for that. Yes, TMI. And sometimes that helps with the reading. So it's okay. Just again, that confidentiality thing becomes very important. And I don't know, I think partly for me because I was in healthcare and we had HIPAA. So it was drilled into our heads over and over and over. And a salon owner, stylist, oh, I bet you too, right? It was drilled into our head over and over. Yeah, HIPAA rights, exactly. Yes, Dana. That, yes, we're right there. That we don't speak about other people's stuff. We have a responsibility to keep their stuff confidential. So it wasn't even a question for me. I never thought, I'm going to go tell somebody else about a reading. I know when we talked about ethics, I did say, I will say, like if I'm teaching, because I teach tarot, I will say in this forum, I had a querent once who asked me about something, blah, blah, blah. But if you notice, I always make it so it really could be anyone. I always make sure that nobody can pinpoint who that was based on what I've said. Like I don't mind talking about people's tarot readings in general, but I will never say this person came to me for a reading and it was about this. And yeah, I make it really vague on purpose. Absolutely. I was invited to do tarot readings during lag. Sorry. GCC's club fair next week. I'm nervous, but also ready for the challenge. Good for you, Mike. Good, honey. As people who, I hate the lag. Oh, work in salons. How often do women talk locker room talk about men? I bet. Okay, Zena Edwards. I inform the querent of how I work. A lot of my friends and people who don't know much about tarot cards tend to shy away from the deeper spirituality of the cards. They believe it's the cards talking and not the magic of the dynamic between themselves and the client, me as channel, and my ancestors, guides, and helpers. Absolutely. Also, their ancestors might be about with a word to say too. That's true. I get ancestors once in a while too, for sure. I used to be shy about it, but I'm getting better at explaining it. I say thank you in advance for the help from our spirit team, then a small silent prayer for clarity, protection, and articulation. Perfect. I love that. Perfect. Kimberly Sure said, who lives right here in Rochester and has been to Witchapalooza and stuff. I love Kim. Said, I always connect with their spirit guides after surrounding us in a dome of white light. I just tell the client what I see. Then I pull the cards and see how the cards relate to what came through. Perfect. Unless we do an admin live, because then everyone sees the reading. Yeah, exactly. And that's known up front. Up front, if you come to an admin live or you come to one of my live readings or something, guess what? It's not confidential. If it's a public live event, everybody's seeing it. But I think that's, you know that ahead of time, right? You don't have to say everything you see. Yes, that's true too. Don't forget that. You don't have to say everything you see. There's been times where I've seen something that I think, yeah, I'm not going down that road with you. Hell no, I'm not doing that. I mean, if someone's asking about a job and you see someone has a freaky toe fetish, I wouldn't bring that up. I love you, Dana. I can tell you a particular instance. I had a girl who worked with me who would come to me about readings about her significant other and whether they were using, like a former drug user, and was really upset. And the same answer would keep coming up and coming up and coming up. And after a while, you just think and I would look at her and go, it's the same question. Do you really want me to pull more cards for this? Because I can tell you what the reading's going to be before you ask me. You don't have to do any reading. You don't have to say everything that's in the reading if you don't feel comfortable. Like if you get from a reading, oh my gosh, somebody is cheating on you, and you don't feel comfortable sharing that, you do not have the obligation to share that. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to share that. Now, I will tell you, if you're a professional tarot reader and that's the question they came to you for, give them their money back. But other than that, you don't have the obligation to share everything. This story reminds me as well, if you want to reading, be respectful of the tarot reader. Don't be pushy or ask them to tell you things that put them in an awkward situation. Yeah, that's why it's better to know your ethics up front. Know what you will and won't read for, right? Michael Bush, who's here. If I'm doing a reading for someone, I ask if I can grab their hands to feel their energy, and then I use my guides to connect with their guides. Awesome. I don't know, Michael, I'll be honest, I don't know how much you've read for other people, like in a professional setting. Be aware that a lot of people, especially in the era of COVID, do not like being touched. So just be aware that they may say, yeah, I mind. And know ahead of time how you're going to react to that. So if you say, is it okay if I grab your hands? And they say, no, it's not. You have to kind of compose yourself and go, oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to put my hand like above yours so I can feel your energy. That's okay. You can say, is that okay then if I just put my hands above yours because I need to feel your energy? Or just be prepared for what happens if people say, no, it's not okay. Because that, like in Reiki too, when we're giving Reiki, some people don't like to be touched. That's something that you have to be prepared for. In fact, Reiki, it's a question on our questionnaire. Is it okay for us to touch you? And then even though it's a question, I ask them again. So just so you know, I'll be touching like head, shoulders, knees, toes. Is that okay? Does anyone notice an increase in spirit activity when you're doing a reading? Hell yes, because now you've opened up that channel, right? So all of a sudden, yeah, you can feel cold coming in. You can feel hot coming in. You can like sense others. If you're a person that sees ancestors, a lot of times I'll see ancestors standing behind the person that you're doing a reading for. Sometimes they want me to tell them that they're there, and sometimes they're just there for support. I'm specifically connecting to their spirit guides and their ancestors and their Nemeton. So very often they will be standing there. They don't always want me to speak up and say they're there, but yes. Now I have head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees, and toes. Okay. Maya. Maya Spencer said, I learned from you, Jen, to use my guides and to connect to their guides. Love you, Maya. Lori, which I think Lori's here too. I've done a few in the past. Most of them were for my friends and family. I've had an alternative of saying if they don't want me to touch them, I'll ask if it's okay to hold my hands above theirs. Perfect. And like I said, as long as you're aware of that ahead of time and you know what you want to say, you should be fine. That's why I sit side by side with Querent. Yes, and here we go, Lori. This is your answer. I would sit. This is just what you were saying. I would sit instead of across from each other. I like the client to see the cards in the same orientation as I do. And I like that too. It's funny, most of the time that I've been a professional reader in person, there hasn't been enough room to have them sitting right next to me. But I noticed it is nicer to be able to have them sitting next to you on the table, on the same side of the table. Because half the time, especially when I have to wear my glasses to see the cards anyway now, it's hard sometimes to like, I'll look at the card and then I'm showing them the card and then I'm looking at the card. So that's true. It's nice to have them on the same side of the table. As I do, and I don't like the table between us as a barrier. Before starting, I would have a conversation about their question, often get their birth date to work out their soul and personality cards. I love that. I like to know what those cards are in case they come up in the reading, which is great. What a great way to open up the conversation is, okay, let's work out, this is your life path card. So, if this happens to come up in a reading, oh, look, this signifies a big thing in your life. This is some big, happening going on in your life. I like that. I always like having someone on a table. I love you. Where the hell am I? You guys are so funny. Yeah. I like to know what those cards are in case they come in. I most often use 5 cards. I have never used guides in tarot readings, so I'm very excited to learn about that. Yay! Although now that I think about it, it's just this one particular person that I've read for that has caused this to happen. And maybe it's because of how connected you are to that person that it so easily flows through, Serrano. Then Diane Devine said, I have a personal conversation with them. I go in deep if they're willing to go in. I find that it opens up the person I'm reading for so that you can connect better. Very good. Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about a couple other things here. I liked that Lori was talking about doing the life path card. That's a great idea. And that's something I never thought about doing for every person that sits down at my table. But I think if I were to do in-person readings a lot again, that may be a really good idea in case that comes up. That is a very big thing in their life. If that card comes up, then that makes a big deal. So that's a great idea. There's something called a significator. Any of you know? I'm sure some of you know what a significator is. A significator in the tarot is a card that represents the person you're reading for. So either it represents yourself if you're reading for yourself, or it represents that person. Now, it's back in the old days of tarot, it used to be very clear what card that would be for a lot of people. Like many times it was the court cards. The court cards very often were used as significators. And if it was a younger woman, it would be the page of whatever. So you could say to her, find out what kind of energy she feels like. Sometimes maybe her astrological sign. So if she was very much a fire person and her astrological sign was Leo and she was, young, not married, immature level, she would be the Page of Wands. And you would use that as the significator. And if then you go on to the page, the knight would be a young man. The queen would be a mature woman, so someone marrying age or older usually. The king would be a mature man. And then you would take that, wands for fire. Hi, Yaz. How are you, sweetheart? Cups for water and so on. So a lot of court cards could be significators. A lot of tarot readers still will ask you enough questions to say, okay, I believe your significator is, based on what we've talked about, is the Knight of Cups. So that if that comes up in the reading, it does what Lori was talking about with the personality cards. Yeah, you can use the soul and personality cards as the significators. Yes, you went through another breakup recently, but bounced back. Yay! Good. I miss you, sweetheart. I haven't seen you for a while. And of course you bounce back. Beautiful. I will tell you, I don't normally use a significator. The only problem I see using a significator is it takes a card that could come up in the reading. Yes, exactly. And I feel the same way. I feel like every card could be them in the situation they're in. I will feel out the energy of the card. A lot of times, like if a high priestess shows up or a the magician or the hermit or there's any number of cards that could come up that if you feel that energy, you feel that that represents them. Oh, this is you going through the situation you're going through. So I don't use them. That doesn't mean you can't use them. It just, I don't feel a need for them. Unless it's, I'm trying to think if I ever have used specifically. Oh, I think I used to do a really quick reading where we would talk for a minute and figure out their significator. Like if I said your significator is the high priestess. And where the hell are my cards? I took them out. Oh, I put the things on them. Okay, so let's say we talk about it enough. And I say your significator is the high priestess. Oh God, now I've got to find the high priestess in this deck. Oh, look at that. Wasn't that hard? Okay. So I find it in the deck and then I take the high priestess out along with the card that was in front of and the card that was behind. This is kind of an easy reading to do, if you're doing a quickie reading. So here is the high priestess in this deck. So I say your card, your significator is the high priestess. The card that was in front of it was the 9 of cups. And the card that was behind of it is the world. So the card that was in front of it, you can place anything you want on this. This is not specifically this, but you can say, oh, this is the energy that you need to get rid of. The card that was in front of it, that's the energy that you're in right now that you need to get rid of. The 9 of cups energy. You have had too much going on that just feels like it's this constant flow of energy towards you and you're not grounded enough. You're like kind of flighty and up here because it's been good. That's good. Sometimes good energy can like run out though and you're like, holy crap. Okay, there's only so much I can do and I'm like flying in the air. I need to ground more. And the card that's after it is the world card, which means this energy is about to change because the cycle is ending. So make sure you ground. Okay. So that is, I think I have used a significator in that regard. That's like a quick, easy reading. But I think that's the only time I've actually used a specific one. Pulling for a quickie, eh? How many, please. I'm always up for a quickie. My noon show used to be called The Nooner. Hello. So you shouldn't put the significant wrong back. So you shouldn't put the significant wrong back. You can if you want to. Absolutely, you can if you want to. Again, if it works for you, it works, right? I'm never going to, you guys know me. I'm not the kind of teacher that's going to say, oh, well, you're wrong. It doesn't work that way. You can put it back. You can also pull it out and set it next to them and say, this is, life's too short not to make jokes. That's right. You can also pull it out, set it on the table next to them and say, this signifies you. So that they can connect to that card. Okay. All right, let's talk about, I'm going to tell you, first of all, I'm going to give you, before we leave tonight, I'm going to give you a couple other methods. I'm going to start by here we are, an hour in. I'm going to start by telling you how I connect. So this is my method of connection, okay? Especially when it's Jen's count. Exactly. Okay. So I will tell you a couple of my tricks of the trade. This is how I connect. I don't know if I've ever taught anyone successfully how to connect exactly like I do. I'm not sure. So I will tell you, I brought this out for Mel the other day. This is just a grounding oil that I happen to really like. This is a root chakra oil. And if I'm doing a lot of readings in a row, or a lot of Reiki in a row, or a lot of connecting to different energies, I will tell you that before I go in to a new reading or a new energy or new Reiki treatment, immediately, I will use a grounding oil. For me, scent is very important. So I will use a grounding oil and just reconnect myself for a minute and think, okay, here we are. This is where we are. Oh, by the way, Mama, since I asked you like a year ago how to start with tarot, I've become so much better at just doing the reading and not making it a huge ritual. Yay, every time, and it feels so freeing. Yay, good. Mel has it in Joe's view of this. Mel has it in Joe's view of this. I don't know what that means. I'm lost. What else is new, right? Okay. So I start with something to ground yourself. Oh, yours came in. Yay. Oh, good. I'm glad yours came in. I love this stuff. Love this stuff. So I do kind of take a deep breath. Put a lot of times I'll put my bare feet on the floor. If I'm in a place that I'm doing them a lot, I'll put my feet on the floor. So I would recommend taking a minute. My new oil. Okay, I gotcha. I would recommend starting out with some kind of deep breath, oil. Grab a grounding stone. Have a black obsidian, a hematite, black tourmaline, whatever is a petrified wood, something that grounds you. Before you begin connecting, ground your own energy. Okay, so step one, ground your energy in some way that works for you. Okay. Step two, for me, one of the things that I need, and you'll see when I do readings for people, I ask them for their real name. Now, if I'm in person, usually I already know their real name. I've asked, how you doing? My name is Jen. Da, da, da. I've introduced myself. If it's online, I'll say, I need to know your real name. Because for me, there's some kind of connection to the nematon itself, which those of you who don't know, hopefully most of you know, the nematon is the place where your spirit guides reside. In the Celtic world, that's what they called the place where your spirit guides reside. There's a bigger meditation to it. And I have to record the longer version of the nematon meditation, which I have been meaning to do since Witchypalooza. I swear, I have a list. I'm going to try to get down my list, I swear. But I do have a nematon meditation. It's just a little bit shorter than I'd like it to be. So I would like to do the longer version for you guys so that you can really connect to your nematon. Okay, so for me, there's something about knowing your real name. Like it's not, some of you have different names on here than what your actual birth given name is. And I shouldn't say it that way because it does not have to be your birth given name. I've had trans people and stuff who it is the name that you use at home, not your magical name, is how I should say that. And so I need that name so that I can, because most of the time I think, my guess is, that's the name that you use in your nematon. But do you have dates for Witchypalooza 2022? Possibly. I know we have tentative dates. I can't remember if we nailed them down for sure, but I will write that down and we will talk because we have a meeting tomorrow. So I'll let you know. I know we have had tentative dates. So I get your name. Part of my connection is blue fluorite. So I don't usually have this big hunk unless it's an online, because this is kind of home on my self-affirmation altar. But blue fluorite for me helps me to connect to the web of connection, which is called the word, W-Y-R-D, the word connection or the weird connection. So in order for me to connect to the word, blue fluorite helps me to see those connections much brighter. It's like it enhances the connection. So step 2, after you ground, step 2 would be have some kind of stone or help connecting, whatever that help for you is. It could be a stone. It could be a glass of water. It could be a candle. It could be, I'm trying to think of the different elements. It could be, what am I missing? Water, fire, candle, air. It could be a stone again. It could be incense. It could be a twig. It could be a lot of different things that help you. It just kind of it could be quartz, because quartz, kind of enhances everything. It could be a lot of different things to kind of help you connect to the web of energy between people. Feathers, absolutely. Feathers, incense, whatever it is, have that thing around. And I don't recommend, if you're doing a whole bunch of readings, I don't recommend having this big hunk of stone with you. Usually I have a bunch of, I don't even want to say how many blue fluorites that I carry with me when I'm doing, readings around town or whatever. Coins, absolutely, yes. It should be something that enhances the web of connection for you. Now, if I'm speaking another language already and you have not learned to connect to that web at all, then that is a whole nother story, and we can start to talk about that. I don't want to get into it too heavily in here because that is a whole nother thing, but then you need to do some connection workings, which I always recommend starting with the ball in your hand. You have a metaphysical ball of energy between your hands, and everybody has it. And so you kind of cup your hands and you start bringing your hands together until you feel that resistance, till you feel that ball of energy go, wait, I'm here. There's something here. Okay. And you'll feel it. If you don't, then there's other ways you can work on opening up your palm chakras, but hopefully you'll feel it. Some people it's real close and some people it's real big. And, once you get good at it, you can make it as big or as little as you want. But that's the first part of feeling energy, is to kind of make that energy ball and work with your energy ball. Make it bigger, make it smaller. What's it made out of? Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it fuzzy? Is it smooth? What is that ball made out of? And then make it a little bigger, and then make it a little smaller, and then bounce it in your hand. And so you start to work with that energy. Okay. And then you're going to start to feel energy everywhere. Then you start to realize, how do I connect to the energy of a tree? How do I connect to Mother Earth's energy? Sometimes roots. So when I do Reiki, I talk about roots coming out of the bottom of your feet, connecting to Mother Earth's roots, and then you're able to exchange energy. Through the air, for me, it's like a web, a spider web of... It literally, to me, looks like a spider web, but it's made out of like silver webbing. It's not, it's silver light, maybe, I guess is the best way I can put it. It's silver lights of energy that connect to everything. Silver cord, yep. And so for me to connect to someone else, I open up that, okay, I want to connect, which... I ground, I have my connecting energy. In my head, I say, here we go. I'm connecting to Mel. Melissa is the person I'm connecting to. I open myself up for those connections, and I search through and find the connection. For me, it's like it glows a little bit brighter. It's like it says to me, hello, here I am. How do you open up palm chakras? It's really start by rubbing your hands together. Crystals, certain crystals can help you open it up. It depends on you. So quartz, fluorite, blue crystals are good. Purple crystals are good. Yeah, I do have, yeah, chakra. There's chakra videos about the chakras that can talk about the palm chakras. So for me, it's like it just glows a little bit brighter. It kind of says hello to me. It vibrates a little bit. And then I literally will in my metaphysical space, okay? I will just pluck, oh, there it is, Mel string, ting, and follow the vibration. Now, I'm an air person. So I know that not everyone will connect the way I'm connecting, the way I'm saying. You can try it though. If you're a fire person, you may send a little flame. You know, you may say, okay, Mel's energy, see this little flame? This is my flame. I'm going to send this flame out and go seek out Mel's flame. If you are a water person, you may see ripples, waves of water-like energy and follow those waves into her energy. If you are earth, you may have roots that go from your feet and you can go through the earth and find that connection, feel the connection through the earth and come back up at Mel's root connection. Okay. Whatever it is, that's you have to, bunch of flamers. Whatever it is. Yes. When you feel connected, I get chills and goosebumps. That's a great one. That's a great one. Does this pertain to any form of divination where you link to the web and connect? Yes, absolutely. Every form of divination. Because every form of divination you do, you want to connect to the person you're reading for, whether that's yourself or someone else. This connection should be the same for every form of divination that you do. Every single one. I'm an earth, so I can imagine roots or vines. Great. Perfect. Awesome. Now, and don't forget, guys, if you're an earth person and you see things the way I do, it's okay. If you're an earth person, you don't have to see roots. I'm just saying that I have found that very often the way people feel energy is has something to do with their element. Not always, but it's very often the case. So for me, I'm following that vibrational energy. I kind of follow the little ripple of energy back to that person. And once I get there, for me, now again, me alone, for me, now I am standing at the door of their their nematon. Every person's door looks different. What if the person you're reading for doesn't know their element? Yes, you just use yours because your way of connection works for every nematon because it's not them. It's not their responsibility to connect to you. You don't want them, as a matter of fact, to connect to you. That's one of the important things about using your connection to reach out and connect to theirs. You don't want them to reach out to you because then they have connected to your energy. You don't want that. You want that connection to be one way only. And so once you are standing at the door, and again, for me, this is how I work. If you don't have a door, that's okay. You may just suddenly feel the connection and you know that you're there. Once I'm standing at the door, I will say in my spiritual self, I will say, hi. So I'm here to connect to, I'm here. And when I say I mean, I have standing behind me my spirit guides, my ancestors, all my spiritual representation is always standing behind me because they're all like, here we are. So I'm always like, hey, here we are. I'm standing here because your person, your Mel, your Lori, the person you're reading for, your person has asked me to do some reading for them. So is it okay if we connect? I really could use your help Can you open up and show me what it is they need to see? And so for me, I'm asking their spirit guides, hi, how you doing? This is me. Introduction. Hey, this is me and all my spirit guides. Is it okay if the person that you protect, your person, they asked me for help? That's what I'm here to do. And in my head, it's always, some people will say a prayer and I have a prayer ready to share with you. Some people will say a prayer that says, only for your greater good. In my presentation to your spirit guides, it's implied. It's, hi, I'm here. This is what we're doing. I'm not here to do any harm or anything. I'm just here because they asked me a question. You okay with that? If you could open up for me, that would be great. We're going to do everything for them. And if you could help me, I would love it. And so then the door opens and I will then see usually an animal, sometimes an ancestor, sometimes a spirit guide, sometimes a god or goddess. I've seen all kinds of things open that door. So that is the connection. Okay. So when I'm going to connect to a person I'm reading for, that's everything that's going through my head. When I say to you, okay, give me a second, I'm just going to connect. And usually I'm holding my blue fluorite. That's what I'm doing. Cling. I see the little web. Click. And I follow that vibration. Oh, look, there's the door. Here I am with all my spirit guides, my ancestors, my gods and goddesses, everybody that backs me up all the time. Hi, we're here to do this little reading. They asked me, is that okay? If it's okay, I love your help. Could you open up and let's figure out what we can do for them. And then it begins. Okay. Any questions here? Let me read back what we have. I may message you to ask for pointers on doing readings in a busy area. No problem, Mike. You can message me, honey. It's not easy. What if the person you're reading for does another element? Oh, yeah, I did that one. This might be out of your area, but how could you connect in other without imagining stuff in your mind's eye? Sometimes I get intrusive thoughts, and I fear they will infiltrate my visualizations. Yes. Start with your nematon, okay? Your nematon, and when you do that meditation, if you look up on my YouTube search, I swear I will. I'm going to star it. I swear I will try really hard, like this weekend or within a week. I will try really hard to get that nematon video up, because it's better if it's a little bit longer. But your nematon is a safe place where nothing can come in unless you've invited it. So if you start everything you do from your nematon, you are protected. And that's why we build this nematon for our spiritual selves. It's like a fortress for our spiritual selves. Nothing can get in that we have not invited. There is no way to penetrate the nematon without you allowing that. Okay? So start there. If you start there, then there is nothing to fear. Okay? Christiana, I don't feel energy. I do in a way that my therapist and I can talk about it, but I have never understood the feeling of energy. I have a lot of work to do to figure out how. Christiana, message me. Are you on Facebook? Are we connected on Facebook? I can't remember. Or email me, and I will try to give you some tips. I'll kind of ask you some questions and see if I can work with you a little bit to at least help you a little bit, because I have helped people before to do that. I'm not saying that I can definitely do it, but I can try to help you. Everyone connects differently, yes, and at different times. Hearth Witch has a beautiful description of how she does it, like otters smelling in water. Oh, it always sounds beautiful, but I'm still lost. Mama can really help you in any area you need help with. Dana, hush up, girl. I love you. When it comes to spirituality, the craft, advice, direction, she's my spiritual leader and not just my other mama. I love you, Dana. Do you ever get to the door and the answer is no? Yes. Yes, Lori. I have once in a great while. And I will tell you, I had not before COVID. Before COVID, I had never had that experience. When COVID happened, that was not just a physical in this realm problem. That hit all of our spiritual realms as well. And if you know me, you know that I stopped doing things like I didn't do readings for quite a while. I didn't do my Scully Council for a year, over a year, I think, because the connection was not there. It was not quite right. It's like everybody did what we all did physically. All your spirit guides and stuff wrapped their wings and their arms around us and just held on and waited. Like, okay, we're just in protect mode right now, and no, you can't come in. And so yes, that has happened before. It has happened a couple times since it opened up. It opened up slowly at first. For probably the first 6 months that I started doing readings again. I would have like a representative that would open the door, but I couldn't even see in. Like they would be like, okay, I'm here. I'm your representative. Go ahead and read. So I would be able to tell them, okay, what opened the door was this. But that was it for a while. It has only maybe within the last 6 months been so most of the time now, I can actually get a view of the nematon and what's in there and that kind of thing. But it has been a slow coming back. A slow coming back. I will try to remind you. Thank you, Mal. Beautiful way of explaining it. Has a lot to do with how open the questioner is. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Gonna have to rewatch this. Hi, Court. I'm in the Facebook group. Oh, good. Message me then, honey, and we can work together, and I can try to help you to figure out some ways of being able to connect. There are too many souls going when that happens. For me, it's overwhelming in that realm. Yeah, exactly. It just really, it was like, nope, we're just in protect mode, and we're not doing this. So everybody just kind of closed down, and it was like, yeah, no, for a while, that's about it. We're not going to get that. So, all right, thanks, honey. Okay, so, I'm going to give you a specific prayer, and I will put it up here, and I will try, because I liked this one. There's lots. If you look up, though, like a tarot prayer, trying to think how to, oh, shoot. Yeah, I will do it in the Facebook group, in the Witchy Wisdom also. But here is the specific prayer that I found that when I think when I first started, I used this. Oh, shit. I'm not going to be able to do all of it. Damn it. Hold on. Okay, nobody type a message for 1 second. Copy. Cut. Damn it. Hang on. How is that too? Hold on. Sorry, guys. It's going to have to be 3 different ones. Oh, that's ridiculous. All right, let me read it out loud first, okay? Here we go. I'm going to read it out loud first because it's too long to put in here. I'll put it in the comments. That's what I'll do. I'll put it in the, in case you don't have Facebook, I will put it in the, you know, after the video. It'll be in the down below here. Here is the prayer, though. It says, Maiden, Warrior, Mother, Crone, guide my hand by yours alone. Let this reading be true and sound, the future revealed, the hidden found. Rover, guardian, hunter, guide, with me always by my side. I pray for guidance and for sight. Protect me with your golden light. The cards are shuffled, the cards are dealt. The door is opened, the power felt. Let me see with open eyes, speak the truth, and tell no lies. And when the future is revealed, until nothing more is concealed, remember that the future is not set in stone. Guide me, Maiden, Warrior, Mother, and Crone. So I liked that one because it says several things that I really like. And it talks about the goddess in all her aspects. There is a ton of them out there, though. There is a ton of the little prayers that people say. I'm trying to find. I had another one open. Where the hell is it? What is that? Where is it? No. It's about inviting your higher good to have their higher good help you. Centering, varies, meditate, tool. Where the hell? I can't believe I had it right here, and now, of course, I can't find it. I will post though a couple different prayers because some people just like to recite a prayer about I pray that my spirit guides will connect to your spirit guides, and we will both, for their higher good, let them know what they need to know. There's a lot of really good ones out there. I will post some of them in the down bar here after the video, and I will post some more in the Witchy Wisdom group. But that is a good way to do it, is to ground, connect, and then say a little prayer. For me, once I have their Nematon open, I let them know usually what answers the door, what is, because usually, like 9 times out of 10, there is a representative that like comes forward to say, I'm kind of the spokesperson. This is our Nematon for, your Querent's Nematon. So this is, I'm the representative for all of their spirit guides, ancestors, guardians, gods, goddesses, all of the things that they have in their Nematon. There's usually a representative. It changes. I will tell you, it changes. It could change from day to day. You could have different things at the door of your Nematon today than you did yesterday, than you do tomorrow. Okay? Hi, Leanne. What did I miss? Yes, Pinterest, absolutely. Yes. Might be possible to create a psychic or magical filter for intrusive thoughts. Maybe not permanently. Yes, for spiritual work. And you'll notice, who was it? MA, I think. Somebody said they... Kim. That they surround you in a dome of white light. A lot of people will use that, that's almost like a circle. Okay? So the white light is a protective barrier that protects everything that's inside the circle from what's outside the circle, and everything outside the circle cannot be intrusive to what's inside the circle. So that power, that dome of power, cone of power, white light, a lot of people will use the dome of white light in order to protect what's going on underneath the white light. So you can try that. That's something to see. That's okay. No problem. You're meeting Ethan Smith in an OCD webinar. That's cool. Cool. I'm curious to see if my Nematon changed away from the shepherd. You mean you haven't been to your Nematon since Witchypalooza, Michael? Your Nematon, I will tell you, once you connect to your Nematon, you should connect to your Nematon a lot. Because that's where your spirit guides reside. So when you are looking for answers, when you're looking for help, when you're down in the dumps, when you need some advice, when you reach out to me and I don't have the time to talk to you right then, reach out and meditate in your Nematon. And remember, those of you who were at Witchypalooza, we did the tongue to teeth, the back of the teeth here, that should be a trigger for you to more easily go to your Nemeton. And that's the place for you to go to unload your baggage, for you to cry out to your spiritual teachers, to your spirit guides, to your ancestors, to say, hey, I'm hurting here. And there is so much going on that I need your help with. It's not about meditation, though. It's more than meditation. It should be a relationship with those in your Nemeton. You should have and I don't mean to point you out, Mike. I'm sorry. Seriously did not mean to point you out, but I meant to use your example for everyone else to learn from. Your Nemeton is a safe place for you, and you should be able to go there anytime you are down, anytime you need advice, and nothing in this realm seems to be what you're looking for, or the people that you are trying to reach out to aren't available. Sometimes that is an indication that your spirit guides are reaching out to you. And all you have to do is, close your eyes for a minute and project yourself to your Nemeton and say, whew, here I am. I'm going to unload on you. They're waiting for you. They want to help you. They are there for you. When I say I come to your Nemeton door and I've got all my people behind me, it is my spirit guides, my ancestors, my gods and my goddesses, my, all of the spiritual council, my Scully council, all of my spiritual council comes with me. So it's like a big group of people ascending to your door going, hey, how you doing? Okay. That's interesting what you said about the whole COVID affecting spiritual realms. I've been feeling a disturbance for quite some time in the Egyptian worldview. Oh, I bet, Sarana. I would love to hear about that too. The world is perfect except for when chaos slips through the cracks. For sure. And definitely it affected every form of spirit that I was connecting to was affected, for sure. Leanne, please put Georgie Lee May in your Reiki basket. She has just been moved to hospice. Inoperable. They didn't find it in time. I'm so sorry, honey. George, what the hell did I just do with my pen? Oh, here it is. Georgie Lee May. You got it, honey. She is in the basket. All evil in the world is from the chaos slipping through the cracks. Me neither, but I do run affirmations. Yes. Download Insight Timer. Yes. Insight Timer. Oh my goodness. If you have 5 minutes, if you have 10 minutes, if you have 2 minutes, you can find a meditation to just, sometimes you just need to ground even. And that timer will help you tremendously. Some of the questions you have for Mama Squirrel, you can find yourself through meditation and trusting yourself, your guides and instincts. Yes, open yourself up. Definitely. It will help with meditation. I have never needed to pay for anything I wanted to do. Me neither. Not once. Yes. Insight Timer is great. Do you do that and have info on that in the Nemeton video? Yes. I don't know if I do the quick release thing, but that will be in the new one that comes up. Has anyone else worked with the Psychic Witch book by Matt Auerin? Oh, do I have it right here? Look at that. Emma, I will say, I don't think I got far enough into this book, but what I have read, I love. Absolutely love what I have read. And now that you've said it, now I'll have to open it back up again. Yes. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. There's the Nemeton video. I swear I will upload the new version because I have it all printed out. I just have to upload it. Yes, it is. Yeah, I really enjoyed what I have read. And so I will open it back up for sure. Now that you mentioned that it was good, I'm doing it. Okay, any questions about connecting to your querent? Any questions? I know it's hard because there's so many different methods. It's hard for me to say this is how I connect. Good luck, right? But there is so many different methods. You will find your own. And again, don't forget that when you are practicing your readings for other people, do you tell them you are doing it or just do it? Do I tell? Oh, do I tell them? Good question. Sometimes I tell them, and sometimes I just do it. I think I will say in-person readings, when people are not people that watch my channel and stuff, I don't tell them. I don't tell them at all. I will say, what is your name? And I will say, I'm just going to connect for a minute. And okay. And then I tell them about their door. So I kind of tell them, and I'll say, okay, so your spirit guides, the door to your spirit guides is guarded by this animal or this ancestor or this was there waiting for you. So I do tell them that part of it. I don't tell them like the whole spiel of what I'm doing, usually, unless I know them or I know that they kind of know who I am and have seen stuff. I'll explain it a little bit to them. You will get questions tomorrow before the live. When you read out loud my question, I sound like I'm a first grader trying to put a sentence together. I'm sorry, Michelle. It's not you. Don't forget, guys. And again. Mercury is in retrograde. I know people hate to hear it, but I'm telling you what. This Mercury is very much hitting my communication and a lot of people's communication. It is very emotional driven, this Mercury, for some reason. And it is hitting the fuck out of my communication. So bear with each other. Bear with me. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible Mercury retrograde. For me, at least, it's terrible. I wanted to buy this, but in my Amazon cart for like a year. Usually tell them to give their angels permission for me to read for them. Awesome. Crimson Moon, that's a great example. Absolutely. And sometimes you may get a better response to a person that is kind of closed off if you say to them, okay, so I'm going to be asking your angels, asking your spirit guides. So tell them it's okay. Absolutely. I don't have questions, but I will try to help remind you. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And I've been meaning to do that Namaton damn meditation since Witchapalooza. Dana, don't forget you wrote down a video idea about pathwork. Yes, I did right there. Thank you. Reading up on White Lab. You need a brick of it. Do I really? It's funny. I really love White Lab and I don't have a lot of it. So yeah, I do. So which reminds me, once I get through my questions, there is an incredible little sale going on. It's going to be on the living room page, right? Or are we doing it on Mama Squirrel's page? Whichever. I can't remember. Of White Lab and regular lab. Joseph, the cab god. I can't even, he finds these cabs, like, I just am amazed by how many cabs he finds. These absolutely stunning cabs of White Lab and Lab cabs on Mama Squirrel's living room. Right after Tarot Tuesday is done, he's going to be doing an amazing live on those cabs. So if you guys go check them out, if you need, if you want, if you love lab like we all do, they are some flashy, hoary labs. Let me tell you, they are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Did I mention they're gorgeous? All right, damn Mercury. Yes, it has really fucked some shit up. Oh my God, so much. I knew it was Mercury because my browser is nuts. Yes, and by the way, yeah, Messenger has been totally fucking up for most of us. It's not just you. The business pages, if any of you have business pages on Facebook, they just made us upgrade to some other thing and it screwed up a whole bunch of stuff. I sound drunk almost all the time. Yeah. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Barry's new name is Mercury. He only loves Mom Squirrel right now. Aw. Aw. Give Barry a hug for me. We're not Jen's followers. We're all her personal assistants. I know. Remind me of blah, blah, blah. I feel like since I've gotten other tarot decks, I seem to have lost connection with my original. Ooh. I think it's hard when you have so many. I think it's like anything else. The people and the relationships in your life are there for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So you will have some decks that are there for a specific purpose. You'll have some decks that are there for a specific season of your life. And you'll have some decks that connect and stay connected forever and ever. I have decks in my possession that I didn't connect to at all. And then 6 years later, suddenly I'm like, oh my gosh, this deck is amazing. Why haven't I been using this deck? And it just was supposed to be that deck for that time. Mama Squirrel's Living Room, that is the Facebook page. That's our business page there. I have begun to open up my Etsy page again, which I believe is listed. And I was like, oh my God, it's been listed in my YouTube forever. So keep an eye out. I'll be adding lots of stuff to the Etsy page too, from the shop, because I'm trying to make it so you guys can find the shop without having to be on Facebook lives all the time. So I'm working on that. There's lots of stuff going on. I do not comment, but I just like to say how amazing this site is. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you being here so much. You guys are the reason that I do this. So thank you for being a part of that. I have a question, Mama. How does a deaf gynecologist do his work? He reads lips. I love you. Dana, you're the woman. I love you so much. Yes. You guys are awesome. I struggle with decks that have Christian or Kabbalistic energy. Me too, Sarana. I try, but I struggle with them too. I hear you. I sent an old friend to the living room for my jewelry. Yay! Oh, good. Good. Yes, that's my business page. Dana, I just adore you. You're so funny, my little love. All right. I love you guys so much. Next week, shit. I so know exactly what Tarot Tuesday next week is going to be, and I have it written down, but not in front of me. What the fuck is it going to be? I will create the event, though, for next week's Tarot Tuesday. Shit. Pooh! Thank you, Mercury. Next week's Tarot Tuesday. Tuesday is Imulk. So next week's Tarot Tuesday is actually postponed because next week, Tuesday night, is Imulk. So we will be doing a ritual next week. Next week is Imulk. You will see me again between now and then for sure, because I always come on to explain what the next Sabbath is. So next Tuesday is Imulk. So I will be on very soon. Definitely this weekend, if not before that, to explain what Imulk is and what we can do for it. And then we will have the ritual, Imulk ritual on Tuesday night. Okay? So, rat pussy. It's the rat pussy anniversary. Woohoo! And if you don't know what that is, it's specific to Dana. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I will post the tarot prayer in the Facebook group and down below when we're done. I love you. Goodbye, guys. We'll see you next time.